This is a review of the KLH Albany bookshelf speaker. And before I get into the particulars, just before I started to make this video, I was listening to this recording, David Johansen. It's a Chesky Records thing. I was present at the session, and I'm playing from the CD, I'm playing a Sunhouse tune called Death Letter, which is done by everybody. But David Johansen just is so deep into the blues. I mean, he's a white guy, obviously, but the blues, I mean, it's an extraordinary performance. And I remember thinking so at the session, I think it's early 2000s, but hearing it again over the Albany, it connected me, it electrified me. It's an acoustic record, but it just kind of made me sit up straight in the chair and say, yes, that was it. That's what it was. And that, you know, I should stop the review right there, right? No, I have to give you more stuff. But the thing is, that's what this is all about. Now, I have a lot of things to say about this speaker, but I just wanted to start, because I just before I hit the button here to start recording, Death Letter was pounded in my brain coming out of these Albanys. Now, the other thing that right away grabbed me about these speakers is the finish. They were in American walnut, but real walnut. I understand why manufacturers use vinyl finishes. Obviously, it's cheaper and it's probably more durable. But when you unpack a speaker that has a real wood veneer that's beautifully finished, as these Albanys are, you say, they should all be this way. They should all be this nice, because it's, you know, you're going to live with these things. You want them to be attractive, and hopefully you're going to live with them for a long time. And looking at real wood, beautifully finished real wood, I don't know, it kind of sets the mood, sets the tone, right? Okay, now getting down to brass tacks, it's an 8-ohm speaker. Oh, they're $479 a pair. So these were in American walnut, but they're also available in black oak, because everybody likes black speakers, right? Not me, but most people do. So it's two-way sealed box. That's the other thing that grabbed me right away about these speakers. No ports. Now, I'm not opposed to ports, but I'm just saying, when I come across a sealed box acoustic suspension speaker, yeah, it makes me feel good. I like that. I like that feeling, because the bass tends to be tighter, faster. Maybe for you people who want to push speakers closer to the wall and not get weird about ports, I'm not sure why, because I don't think any speaker should be butted up against the wall that much. But anyway, if you're queasy about having ported speakers near a wall, well, the Albany has no port. So right away, thumbs up in the 0 ports department. It's a 5¼ woven Kevlar woofer, a 1-inch aluminum dome tweeter. Both drivers, according to KLH, are proprietary to KLH. Now, the KLH is an old name, goes back to the 50s, and it was a great company, but long ago and far away. And David Kelly, who was at Klipsch for a long time, he retired from Klipsch. He got the itch to get back in the speaker business. He bought the rights to the KLH name, and here we go. He's got some KLH speakers. And so with that in mind, do they sound kind of, sort of, a little bit like Klipsch's? Well, yes and no, because they're not horn speakers, so that's the no part. But the yes part is they have that kind of lively, get up and go energy that I expect from Klipsch's, and the Albany, the KLH Albany, has that kind of pizzazz to its sound. Did I mention it's an 8-ohm speaker? It's an 8-ohm speaker. For you people like specs, I will list all of this. Well, I will link to the specs, whatever they are, on the KLH webpage. Oh, one other really important thing is KLH speakers are sold with a 10-year warranty. That is double. That's, most speakers come with 5-year warranties. KLH gives you 10, count them 10 years of protection. So like I was saying about the David Johansen record, vocals are a real strength of this speaker. They just have this immediacy, this articulation, clarity, precision, whatever you want to call it. The Albany has that in spades. The other thing is the imaging is really big. That sound gets out of that little box, no problem. It presents a huge, wide stage. Depth, I can't say it did a lot of depth, but it certainly was big and spacious sounding, that's for sure. Bass. Bass. Bass is, well, it's a little speaker with a 5.25-inch woofer. It ain't going to shake the walls. Your neighbors underneath, if you live in an apartment, your neighbors underneath you won't be pounding on the ceiling with a broomstick saying, you know, turn it down. It's not that kind of bass. But it is, it's unmessed with. It's not bumped up. It's not thick. It's not bloated. It doesn't have any false boosting. It's definitely not that kind of bass. But the bass that's there, and I got it down to 60. If you're into bass, buy a subwoofer. And of course, if you get it closer to the wall, you'll get a little more than I did. As for highs are on the forward side, clear, detailed, but I would say possibly because of the lack of bottom support, the treble seems a bit bright to me. But I guess that's a personal issue, how you tolerate speakers that are on the brighter side of neutral. This one is. With all of that in mind, I did play, you know that Led Zeppelin live DVD that came out, I don't know, a long time ago, and then eventually came out on Blu-ray. I'm going to show it right now. I love that record. Now, I saw Led Zeppelin a few times in real life, and I think they were a pretty uneven band because, unlucky for me, they weren't great the nights that I saw them. But these live concerts that are sprinkled throughout this set called Led Zeppelin are extraordinary. Everybody's at the top of their game. Jimmy Page, Robert Plant, John Paul Jones, and of course, Bonham on drums. Wow, what a band. Unbelievable. And I got to tell you, youngsters out there, that before Led Zeppelin existed, rock music, even at its best, didn't have that sound that Led Zeppelin had, that heavy sound. That's why it's called heavy metal. That heavy, big, powerful sound. That level of drive to it. I don't know, the Beatles and the Stones and even Cream didn't do what Led Zeppelin did. So I'm watching these DVDs. They're not the greatest recordings, but they're good. They're definitely good. And I was having a blast. I was really enjoying cranking up Led Zeppelin. Oh yeah, it's good. I remember how great they could be. So the little guys here, the Albanys, were doing what was required there. So they can rock. They can rock. And I wasn't using a sub, but they definitely have enough in their mojo to keep me in there, So where do we go from here? Well, one of the next speakers I'm going to be reviewing is the Dali Oberon 3. So it's a larger bookshelf speaker, has a 7-inch woofer, soft dome tweeter in a bigger box, slightly bigger box. It's $800 a pair. It's kind of the opposite of the Albany. It's where the Albany is lean and fast and a little bright. The Oberon 3 is sweeter, softer, rounder, mellower, more forgiving, a little bass bulge going on in there, so they're kind of opposites. And when I went first from the Albany to the Oberon, I said, oh, I have warmth, bass, I like that. But then I was saying, I kind of miss what the Albany was doing in terms of just get up and go. I mean, I would say, I'm not done. I don't actually want to say what I ultimately think of the Oberon because I'm just starting on that one, but they're contrasts. All speakers sound different, and these two absolutely do, or did, depending on your time frame here. So I like the Albany for what it is. If you need a small speaker, you're into high energy, excitement, you're using a sub where you don't care that much about bass, and you like beautiful wood finishes. I can't say enough nice things about it. They do come with grills, in case you were wondering, and I think my work here is done. My name is Steve Guttenberg. This is very, very much the Audiophiliac daily show, and it does come up 5 or 6 or 7 days a week. I'm always saying that, but it's usually 6 or 7 days a week. If you dig it, please, I urge you strongly, subscribe to this YouTube channel, and when you do, hit that little notification bell, because if you don't, you won't be notified every time there's a new episode posted. I do other stuff than just this YouTube channel, have other things in life. But anyway, seriously, you can find some of those things on my Twitter, which is at audiophiliacman. But if back to these videos, please share them, like them, retweet them if you're on Twitter. Give them thumbs up when they deserve it. Give them thumbs down when they deserve that. And if you've gotten this far, yes, please check out the Patreon at patreon.com/audiophiliac. See ya.